Our final story is yet another reminder the pro-life movement is on the side of information, empowerment, and true compassion for women in need. For this week's pro-life focus, hear how God transformed one post-abortive mother's grief to save countless unborn lives. Victoria Robinson, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Victoria Robinson today is a pro-life advocate and speaker. But it's been a journey to get here, a journey that began in heartbreak.
Over 30 years ago, gosh, 3 decades now, I was a single mom with 2 little girls that I was struggling to take care of as far as financially. I was working 12 hours a day, putting them in daycare because their father abandoned us and never supported us financially. So I found myself getting involved with this guy that I met. You know, when you're a woman whose husband just says, I'm out of here, I don't want to be married to you anymore, your self-esteem is rocked to the core. So I started dating this guy, and who told me I was beautiful and special and all those things. 9 months into the relationship, I found out I was pregnant. Being someone who's already wondering how I'm going to take care of the 2 I have that I love so dearly, now what am I going to do? Well, he wasn't ready for a child either, and continued to talk to me about abortion. I called an abortion clinic in Charlotte, North Carolina, that also reiterated, this is the best thing for you. You already have these 2 kids you can barely support. It's just a clump of tissue, blob of tissue, you know, cells. It's not really a baby anyway. So when you're in a situation like that, you tend to believe what you need to believe, because it makes the decision easier, and that's what happened with me. I made the decision to end the life of my child, and on a Saturday morning drove myself to an abortion clinic because he couldn't even take me, and went to the abortion clinic and experienced an abortion in my life and changed me forever.
For over a decade, Robinson says she lived under a cloud of guilt and shame from her abortion. As time went on, she got involved with a Christian worship team when a woman at her church started regularly inviting Robinson to volunteer at the pro-life pregnancy center she directed.
It took about 3 years before I finally walked into that pregnancy center and said, I'm here to volunteer. Still didn't tell anybody about my abortion until 6 months later. Then I went to the director and said, I need to share something with you. And she looked at me and said, I've known all this time. I feel like the Lord spoke to me, my heart about it. And I've seen how you react about certain things, so now we're going to get you in post-abortion counseling, and it's going to change your life. And it did.
The post-abortive counseling, Robinson says, was transformative. She had never expected her abortion to have such an impact on her.
When you take the life of a child at your own hand, whether someone talked you into it, forced you, whatever, you still take that on yourself. It's hard to, it's a big struggle.
But today, Robinson isn't struggling, she's thriving.
These young people are our future when it comes to the pro-life issue.
Victoria Robinson is now the director of external affairs for Save the Storks, a pro-life organization that partners with pregnancy resource centers. Up until now, Robinson had been working with pregnancy resource centers for over 20 years, even serving as executive director at 3 separate locations. At Save the Storks, pro-lifers empower women during pregnancy with one innovative way in particular. Tell us about the vans, the Save the Storks vans.
Oh, yeah, our Stork buses.
There we go.
Stork buses are, our goal is to have them in every city across the country. We are growing in leaps and bounds. We are partnering with pregnancy resource centers and helping them to raise the funds to start their Stork buses. These Stork buses are state-of-the-art Mercedes Sprinters. And I've even had people say to me, believe it or not, well, why do you have to use a Mercedes? Well, because why aren't we giving them the best? Why are we apologizing for offering the best to these clients? The impact is 4 out of 5 women who step onto our buses choose life.
Robinson reminds us it's the pro-life movement on the side of true choice and information.
No one really fully informed me with information. I felt later on so disrespected as a woman that I wasn't trusted with the information that could have caused me to make a different choice. And I don't think that's fair to do that to a woman. I think we're intelligent people that deserve the right to know all of our options and all of the facts before. I say this all the time, but there are more warning signs on a carton of cigarettes about the dangers of smoking than there are when a woman goes to an abortion clinic.
From her pro-life writings, speeches, and outreach, Robinson says God is using her story to reach women on a similar path, to share his message.
God does forgive for all sin, including abortion, and that you can be whole after an abortion, and he can take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it into good.